is why they're playing so far back.
Yeah, you're going to see the handshake come in. They get a knockback on Dots, but there's a good equalizer. Dots will still go down to the rocket. They're going to try and see if they can take out Sheo on the backside as he's forced to flash away. The unleashed power is onto the clone. That was a great decoy, but they've run straight in onto Sertuss. He gets no chance, but they're putting down the feathers. The shutdown at the 2 for 2. Exakick lets the feathers fly. Oh, that zap was almost a giant target on Crownie right now. There is just so many things, and if he gets caught by one piece of CC, there's not a lot else for him to do. The equalizer, the ultimate from the Nautilus, the Cyclone, the Ahri kind of moving around the fight to get on top of you. A lot of pressure here now on the BDS AD carry.
And at least for BDS, there's a lot of pressure being in first place as well. SK has been struggling, but this seems like a composition that they're more than happy to operate on. We're just going to have to see if they can find that success they had in winter, or whether BDS can keep this streak alive that they found in spring.
I'm away with that. It's only 100 gold, but it's again, it's just kind of been feeling out for these two guys. Again, it's a best of 3, as we can see now. The roam from DOS alongside Markoon, but Sheo is here, and you can see the Renata not too far off either, so maybe we're going to see some fireworks up on this top side. The Flame Spitter kind of pushing in Irrelevant, now going to get ghosted upon. He flashes away, he doesn't have his equalizer just yet. They flash in on top of him. Irrelevant needs one more auto, and he will get it. He hit level 6, but it shall not save him. Now Sheo knows that he is dead to rights. 2-1 to SK.
And this is a very similar story to what we saw between SK and BDS in week 1 of this tour.
Yeah, Labrov recognizing, wait a minute, I don't have a dash, you can't just leave me here. There's a bit of an unfortunate deal there, so we've seen now both supports kind of having themselves in unfortunate positions as both top laners now find themselves in a 1v1. The equalizer comes down as well as the overheat. The Ignite's been ticking onto Adam. He's got some extra movement, but he's not got the damage. And that is the power of the Rumble, the shred on the magic resistance, and you just put down your overheat.
And that's the big one there, especially with the Hex Drinker for Adam. He's already planning to try and make a play happen, but now look on the bot side.
Yeah, gonna see them now go for a 2v3. As Dots does get taken out, Crownie just perfectly set up there to throw in the rocket. Now Exakick taken very low, but hasn't been taken down. Ghost was pushing on Crownie.
It does mean that with some of these big summoner spells burnt, maybe SK can look for a pick beforehand.
Oh, they're looking for one right now. There's the charm coming in. No Cyclone, remember, but you've got yourself the cease and desist. There's going to be the ultimates comboing in. They trade it back 1 for 1. Good flash from Sertuss means he does not get hit by the Vault Breaker, but it is going to be a trade back of 1.
I'm going to move bot side to plant this Rift Herald.
Yeah, Adam was already covering Irrelevant as well on the roam, so he's happy to bump the Ragnarok, but we're going to go bot side as we already see there. They're going to try and jump in on top of Sheo. No flash on the Vi, but no real commitment to come in here. There's going to be Shelly getting the drop down, and that's only going to be plates towards Markoon. There's Irrelevant and Adam trying to see if they can dodge each other out. There's going to be a little bit of damage. Oh my god, Irrelevant needs one more auto, and he's going to go down. Just enough there from Adam, and this is how quickly that matchup in top lane can sway.
Revenge for Adam is going to be a happy day for him as he manages to take down the Rumble, but on the bot side, as you rightly pointed out, so they're not as strong, but certainly Jinx a threat in those later game fights. Again, though, it does come down to execution here for BDS, because I don't think they're the best of front lines to try and take these fights.
No, they're going to look for one right now. No flash on Sheo, but he has to use the cease and desist. There's going to be the hostile takeover doing just that. Markoon can't really get a finish off on the kill. Sheo gets into the shield. And Sertuss goes golden, but it's only to delay the inevitable. Nuc comes in and does just that.
They tried to take the fight immediately, but you don't have Exakick in position. But now, looking for one more.
They're going to go right straight onto Labrov, who goes down. No bailout for him. That's just going to be a trade back. That's more of a pick than anything else. But again, SK...
Dragon in 10 seconds. They're going in blind. Markoon and Irrelevant, though. That's the combo we're looking at.
Well, you've already lost the Ragnarok, and you haven't lost any major ultimates here from the side of SK. That's a big tool no longer to be able to put pressure on Exakick.
This is very scary as well for BDS. You don't want to be caught in the pit if this combo end up coming off from SK, which is why they're playing so far back.
Yeah, you're going to see the handshake come in. They get a knockback on Dots, but there's a good equalizer. Dots will still go down to the rocket. They're going to try and see if they can take out Sheo on the backside as he's forced to flash away. The unleashed power is onto the clone. That was a great decoy, but they've run straight in onto Sertuss. He gets no chance, but they're putting down the feathers. The shutdown at the 2 for 2. Exakick lets the feathers fly. Oh, that zap was almost exceptional, but it's a 2 for 2. In the end, you feel like BDS are still coming out that bit stronger.
They just managed to eke away from the engage from SK. Very spread. Here we go.
Markoon, you don't need to be there, and you will be shut down. Nuc picks up his second kill, and again, just small little differences of what are making such huge, fast, mistakes here from the side of SK.
And you see it here, right? As we start to roll into this, great hook from DOS, but look at where Markoon and Sertuss are. they're way in the back line. They're not actually able to follow up on this. That's when you throw out the Rumble ult from the top lane to just make sure you can actually get some damage down here. Sertuss now finally in a position to make things happen, but great ultimate again coming through from Labrov, disrupting Irrelevant to Markoon. That's your front line gone. So Exakick trying to make the hero play, but there's just way too much kite back and range on BDS for this Xayah to try and do much without help.
Just that simple as well. You can see Exakick, look, he's done a very good job to get himself back into it, but that Jinx is just getting scarier and scarier. And Irrelevant, who was right up there at the start, is now down the bottom three. He's chilling with the supports.
And there's not much that he can really do. He started off, as you say, fantastically, but unable to try and play side lanes because Adam would be able to chase him down in those longer lanes, trying to consistently be drawn into these fights, but not actually able to pick up the gold or in these group situations. Labrov, though.
Labrov gets charmed, but the scan of the week is good. They're going to pop down the ultimate onto Crownie, try and separate him out from the fight. Dots gets jumped on by Adam and he is dead. Markoon can't make much else work, but he does get the Syndra now. The Jinx is getting excited. Crownie's on the hunt. They haven't found Sertuss, but Crownie has a feeling he's somewhere in their own jungle. You've got the 1v1 back in the top lane, and Adam asserts his dominance on this Olaf pick.
And that's Baron for BDS. They can immediately move over there. Great opportunity there for BDS to be able to turn that one around. Relevant, the ultimate wasn't quite in a position where it really was threatening or cutting people off, so BDS find the chase and find the kills.
That's the big thing with the Rumble, is that if you cannot get these ultimates down, if you cannot find the right angle, they just feel a bit like nothing. It just feels like they don't do anything in the big team fights, and this Jinx is getting out of control.
And this is where, at least SK, I like the idea. Catch Labrov, see if you can play around this choke point, but the Rumble ultimate goes on to Crownie the back line. He just gets to walk around it, and because you have the rest of SK who've gone so deep to try and make this play work, Crownie's really not cut off from this fight. So the Rumble ult not getting the work, not really working alongside the Wukong ultimate either, and then Exakick finds himself on the business end of the damage from BDS.
There in the top lane or front line and take this. Even the Nautilus is going to be shredded down by a lot of this damage. And speaking of damage, they're going to look to try and get a support and jungle combination here on top of Relevant. He cannot trade back the kill onto Labrov as he gets hands shook away, and that is just as easy as it is. And honestly, that exact kill right there kind of spells exactly how this game has gone for the side of SK.
And now BDS just get to shove in on top side. Last remaining inhibitor, there's no real pressure. You've got Adam escorting minions in the mid lane to make sure that they can actually start to wail away on these Nexus turrets and draw SK away. Charm lands, but got not much else here for SK.
Yep, you can see the hook just go wide as well. As you mentioned, Adam was escorting the minions into that mid lane to give himself an angle as well. They're going to jump in on top of Markoon. Good charm here on the Sheo. Means he's going to have to use his stopwatch. My God, that was a hell of a lot of damage, and it's not going to stop either. Your feathers may fly, but you are being turned into KFC, my son. And that is going to be SK kind of rolling over as BDS continue how they left the regular split and looking just as good in game number one.
And you can hear the French crowd here, happy as Larry with BDS. That was a fantastic game that pad the stats in a negative way as they now finish off the Nexus.
Yeah, Crownie doesn't care.